So here I'm about to highlight the implosion of MAGA in real time. Donald Trump's approval rating now is effectively where George Bush's was in 2008 during the Great Recession and the financial crisis, and plus the forever-ending wars that we had during that time. That's about where Trump's approval rating is right now, and it's not a shocking secret because we're experiencing that all over again 20 years later under Donald Trump. This time it might even be worse, but his approval ratings where George Bush's was almost to where it was in 2008, and where his approval rating also was post January 6th. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys the numbers in real time here.
We got some new absolutely catastrophic polls that just came out for MAGA, and suffice to say, he's now solidly in the 30s. In fact, I haven't seen a poll with Trump's approval 40 or above in quite a while now. I've seen like maybe 7 polls come out recently, and every one he's in the 30s. I've seen a low of 30%, maybe a high of like 39%. But let me show you this. So let's start with this one. Trump's approval rating in the new CNN poll, 34%. He's net minus 32. His disapproval is 67%. Now, let's get into some of the specifics here, though, because this is incredible. So, with independents, minus 52, a new low. White people that didn't go to college, this is his bread and butter, dog. This is like, his people. Hardcore. Ride or die. Minus 8 with those people. Minus 8. White people with a college degree, minus 26. Then you go down the line here. 18 to 34-year-olds, minus 56. 35 to 49, minus 43. 50 to 64, he's minus 10. The idea that people 50 to 64 have turned on him, this is like his fucking, that's like the Gen Xers, right? Like, those are the ones statistically who most support Trump. He's underwater with them. Age 65 plus, minus 14. He's even underwater with the whole demographic group of men, minus 26. So that is a catastrophic poll. How about this one? YouGov, Trump approval among independents, okay? So in October of 2018, right before that midterm election, where Democrats did great, Republicans got stomped, okay? His approval was 38% with independents. Today, July of 2026, his approval is 19%. 19%. You're almost 20 points below, dog. You're 20 points below his approval before Republicans got their cheeks clapped in 2018. They say that's 53 points down from, I guess, the high. It's a record low. Jesus fucking Christ. Net 49-point negative swing. Oh my days, bro. Like, this stuff, I'm running out of ways to describe how disastrous this is. And we've done other segments where I show you Hispanic voters in 2024, it was like a record among Republican politicians with Hispanic voters, with young voters, with independent voters. Now, every single one of those groups has not only fled him, they've fled him and then some. He hasn't reverted to the mean. It's gotten even worse than what the mean was. Okay, how about this one? Again, CNN poll. Trump's net approval. Among independents in 2018, they had him minus 11. Now it's minus 52. White non-college, it was plus 9 in 2018. Now he's minus 8. Men were plus 8 in 2018. Now he's minus 26. This is probably even the biggest red flag for Republicans. In 2018, the midterms where Trump got destroyed, where Republicans got just humiliated, okay? Trump was plus 78 with Republicans. Right now, he's plummeted all the way down to plus 54. So even among his core groups, even among diehard Republican voters, now they're abandoning. So the cult is culting, but the cult is fewer and fewer people. That's the most important way to look at this, okay? And then also, God, this says a lot here too. In the YouGov poll, they ask, which party is more extreme? 51% say Republicans, only 42% say Democrats. And you need to understand, the entire strategy of the right in this moment is to paint Democrats as extremists, paint them as radicals, paint them as out of bounds and unacceptable. They're doing a new Red Scare, new McCarthyism, They're out there, they're communists. They say they're socialists. They're not socialists. What they actually are is communists. That's what they are, it's communists. And they keep hitting them over and over, all the ads. They're extreme, they're communist. They want to, confiscate your private property. They want men playing in women's sports. And they have their list, their checklist they go through. They want your tax dollars to fund reassignment surgery. And they try to hit Democrats. Extreme, 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 extreme. And the American people are listening to this and they're going, yeah, don't buy it. You know who's extreme? You're fucking extreme. You know who's extreme? The people protecting the Epstein pedophiles. They're the extremes. You know who's extreme? The people waging 8 new wars as they lie and say Trump has stopped 8 wars. Those are the extremists. You know who's extreme? The people building concentration camps that ICE is using to shove immigrants in. You know who's extreme? The people who sent 288 innocent people to CICOT in El Salvador where they were tortured and raped. That's who's extreme. You know who's extreme? The people who are doing self-dealing and corruption, the likes of which we've never seen before, where Trump has made billions of dollars since getting back in the White House, and they've allegedly, him and his cronies have profited $9 billion in insider trading just off of his illegal war that he started against Iran. You know who's extreme? You guys are. In fact, there's no other interpretation. The idea that Trump and the Republicans would be looked at as moderate is laughable at this point. They are anything but moderate. In every way, shape, and form, they've destroyed this country. I mean, we're talking 18 million people kicked off Medicaid, millions of people kicked off the SNAP program. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So you're telling people to starve. At the same time, you're allowing coal ash to be dumped in our fresh water. You're rolling back regulations when it comes to radioactivity, which is going to make people sick. You're allowing glyphosate, which is a carcinogenic pesticide, which is going to give a bunch of us cancer. I mean, you cut pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels. When you look at who can look at that and go, oh yeah, whoever they accuse of being extreme must be extreme. Like, no, you're looking at that going, you're the extremist. Look in the fucking mirror. Look in the fucking mirror. So the whole strategy is going to fail. The whole strategy sucks. And by the way, let me be clear, this is not me saying, oh, Democrats are doing a great job. They're not. They're not fighting hard enough. They're not talking about the most important things. They're not hammering away on it. I have many criticisms of the Democrats. They're just like chilling in the cut and waiting for MAGA to self-destruct. But guess what? MAGA is self-destructing. Now, I submit to you, Democrats could be up by 6 points more than what they're up by right now if they actually fought. But make no mistake about it. This is a total rebuke of the Republican Party. This is historic. And guess what? They're plotting like a bunch of different ways to try to steal the election. They know that if they don't do that, this is going to be a blue wave that is just, it is a permanent stain on the Republican brand that's hard for them to recover from. Trump and MAGA, like very famously, when Obama was done and he left the scene, there was like a big hole in Democratic politics, and it was tough to fill that, right? Like the party really revolved around Obama. Well, guess what? Trump is that, except on steroids and human growth hormone. He's that times 100. And so when Trump's gone, the Republican Party is going to fall apart instantly. They're going to be a complete and utter mess. They have no identity. They have no, core vision. I mean, if we're being honest, the main thing that seems to be the connecting tissue between all Republicans is sadism. It's sadism. It's wanting to hurt people who don't look like them. It's wanting to hurt every minority group. Wanting to do endless war, wanting to gut the social safety net and make people feel pain. Like, that's the connecting tissue, and that's why we say this is not a political party. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's just not a political party. This is a fascist, imperialist, terrorist death cult is what the Republican Party is. And it's all catching up to them in real time. Because in the midst of all that, they can't even deliver the most basic shit for the American people. Gas prices are over $4 a gallon right now. People fucking hate that. Grocery prices are through the roof. People can't afford fucking steak. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So, which party is more extreme? Absolutely Republicans. The American people are onto it. Honestly, the gap should be way bigger than it is. It's only a 9-point difference. This shit should be fucking 60 points, right? But when you put all this together, the Republicans are in some ways sitting way worse than they were in 2018 before they got obliterated. Hey, y'all, do me a favor.